Welcome, everybody, back to NRJB Sport, episode number 127. I'm back, guys. Sorry, I had a week off there. I'll be honest, I was not in the best shape. I'm still feeling the effects of a little sickness there. But I just honestly, I'm not going to fucking dance around it here. I'm not going to stand on ceremony like I'm some sort of official, I don't know, government official or something. Big election coming up in a day in America. But yeah, I wasn't feeling it. Mentally, I've been in a weird place. And I think a lot of people have been in a weird mental place. I had kind of I don't know. It wasn't a mental breakdown. I didn't have a mental breakdown. But I had a weird thing happen the other day where I had a dream. And in the dream, I was talking to myself. And I was just asking myself, where have the last 5 years of my life gone? And it was strange because I don't know. I honestly can't tell you. Age 20 to 25 seemed like an eternity. 25 to 30, same kind of thing. Like 20 to 30 seemed like a long time. But age 30 to 34, like we're almost in 2025 here. And I'll be, in another 9 months or what have you, I'll be 35. And I feel like it's just flying by right now. And I just had this existential crisis randomly at night. And it was part of a dream. And I woke up from the dream, in the dream, talking to myself about where's the last 5 years gone. It kept me awake. It was like 3 a.m. And I didn't get back to sleep till probably 4:35. And it fucked me up for a while. And just mentally, I've just been in that place. And I think part of it is because when you get older, you lose relation to time because you're busier, you got more shit going on, so you're always on the run. And so your relation to time does change, right? Your perception of time. But I think more than that, it's honestly just the fucking world right now. It's depressing. And I'm not going to sit here and just pretend to be happy. This is ultimately my podcast. I do what I want on here. I say what I want. I say how I feel. More importantly than anything, I say how I feel. And anybody who likes the show, anybody who pays attention to the show, thank you. Appreciate it. But I'm real. I don't fucking beat around the bush. This is just my show. I don't get paid to do the show. I just do it. I do it because I like doing it, and I think it's a fun thing to do, and I talk so much anyway, so why not, why not put it out there? So there's no financial incentive right now. Hopefully in the future, maybe. We'll see. But I work a full-time job, right? I'm not one of those YouTube guys. And the reason I'm saying it is because, you get these YouTube guys that they lose sight of the world. I saw a guy on Twitter bitching. He's a YouTube guy. He was bitching that he only made like $10,000 last month in ad revenue. Never mind sponsorships. Never mind anything else. There's 100 fucking different ways to monetize yourself on platforms now. But no, his YouTube ad revenue was only $10,000. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you know what a normal person has to do to make $10,000 in a month? Bi-weekly paycheck, that's $5,000. Dude. I hate this fucking generation so much of people. And I'm not saying necessarily generation, that's disingenuous. That's the wrong term. I hate the type of people, I guess. It'd be these internet personalities, right? They get so fucking greedy. They get to the point. Like if I was making 10,000 off my YouTube channel alone, I'd just be happy. If I made more, great. That's just gravy. But at 10,000, you could start to make a life out of that. For sure. And it's pissed me off because, again, we'll get to it, but there's an important election coming up. I'm recording this on the 4th of November. The American election is going to be on the 5th. I do believe, unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. But like, your average person who's bringing home like $3,000 a month, after taxes, right? You may bring $3,000 if you're lucky. If you're in a part-time or low-income job, you're probably only bringing $1,600 fucking a month to $2,000. Like, it depends. But like on my job, my type of job, it's usually about $3,000 a month that I bring in, which is fucking piss all. But then you get these internet celebrities that are just, they're pissed off that they made $10,000 in a month doing what they love. Like, you get to sit in front of a computer and make your content. I get to do that too. It's great. But guess what? I also had to work 8 hours before I did this. So I can't put all my energy into this. So I just think there's a lot of people that need perspective in this world. And it's a big problem right now. And of course, I'm going to be talking about the American election because I don't think these people understand. There's a lot of these celebrities that are endorsing this whole Kamala Harris thing, right? And they're punching it home. They're just setting it hard. We're going to watch a couple videos, don't worry. But like, sorry, glass are fogging. Get too angry. But there's this whole celebrity push to keep this liberal government. But celebrities aren't you and me, guys, okay? Anybody listening to this who's a normal person like me, who's working a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 5 like me, okay? A song comes to mind. They not like us. They not like us, in that song he was talking about something else, but same principle. They're not us. These celebrities that are just, why they're endorsing Kamala and trying to brainwash you to do the same brain dead thing? They're doing that because they want to work in Hollywood and make millions of dollars still. That's why they do that. Okay? Sorry, fucking Shroud of Truth has come on. I'm sorry, but that's the reason. There's no like, I believe she's a good candidate. I believe they're great. No, it's because they are ran by the liberal. Hollywood is ran by the ideologues on the left. It is. And that's the only reason. And they could talk about abortion rights and all this other bullshit, but like, ultimately they just want that power. They want that control. That's what they want. And these celebrities are supporting it because if they don't get to go to work. So, yeah, it's either I support this party or somebody else gets to be Iron Man or Spider-Man or what have you. So, and ultimately what I'm saying here, obviously you guys know who I'm kind of in support of. I don't even need to say it. And I'm Canadian. For people who are new here, I'm Canadian. So I have no horse in the race, you could say. But ultimately, what America does affects Canada. We are fucking conjoined. We are literally conjoined twins. The countries are connected in the middle. So there's a correlation. What one does affects the other always. That's not going to change. So again, obviously, I have my endorsements, but I'm not sitting here. I'm not even trying to tell you who to vote for. Okay? Like they are. They're forcing you. They're trying to force your hand. They're saying, you have to vote for this. Great now. Like if I had a mega hat on and everything, yeah. Okay, I get it. Maybe I'm trying to force something. I just got a plain black sweater. I got no pants on right now because that's how I roll. But I'm not trying to tell you who to vote for. I will tell you to vote. It's important. It's important to have your voice heard in Canada and in the US. But what I will say And this is how I choose to vote when my election comes up in Canada for the Prime Minister, because we have the same problem that you guys have right now, is you look around. Look around. Okay? There's a shelf there. There's a lamp over there. Look harder. Look farther. Sorry, I just did that for a bit. That was weird. But look around you. Okay? Take a look outside your apartment building. Take a look outside your house or your trailer, if you're like me. Just take a look outside your door. How are people doing these days? How are you doing? Could you afford groceries this month? Could you afford to do everything you want to this year? Hey, when's the last time you took a vacation? No? You probably didn't. Unless it was something you already had pre-planned for quite a few years. No. You're struggling. People are struggling. It's rough out there. It's terrible out there. And this goes back to my whole disillusioned dream sequence, whatever you want to call it, that I had, where I just had a weird I had a weird event happen where I just thought, like, what happened the last 5 years? And ultimately, I think I was in survival mode. Because our country has been fucked since COVID. And again, since that whole time, and again, you can blame whatever you want. You can blame, well, it's COVID. Things are still coming back from COVID. No, I don't think it's COVID. It was never COVID. It's these fucking leaders. We've had the liberals in charge for like creeping up on a decade here, guys. Between having Joe Biden in America, now Kamala, and then having Justin Trudeau in Canada. It's been terrible. That's what I'm saying. So don't vote don't vote based off what people tell you to vote for. Look out your door. That should give a pretty fucking clear representation of who you should be voting for. Or rather, who you should not be voting for. But again, that leads into our whole problem, right? It's a two-party system. Well, it's not a two-party system, but it really is, because you're never going to win as a third party. You're especially not going to win a majority Congress, or up here we call it I don't know. Strebik, help me out here. Comment down below. The House of Commons or whatever it is. You're not going to make the seats, right? There's no way you're going to have. I mean, the two biggest parties can barely hold a majority government these days. So, again, just that's all I'm saying to you guys. I'm not saying vote Trump. I'm not saying vote Pierre Poilievre. That's what I'm doing. But I'm saying, look outside. Think a little bit. Use your fucking brain. All right? They've got everybody so obsessed with their phones now. And people are just sitting there making pennies on a dollar, having all of our products produced elsewhere in other parts of the world. And we're just sitting there on our fucking phones, distracted, starving to death. Like, it's literally WALL-E, the fucking movie. We might as well just be in space pods, just sitting there going, this is perfect. No, that's not a life, okay? And I want my kids to have a good life. Canada and America are number one. We're fucking number one in the world. But to stay that way, things need to change. We need to get this immigration, all this stuff. We need to stop thinking like idiots. And that's why I'm very passionate right now. I'm talking passionately because I'm just sick of the bullshit. I want immigration to be under control and not crazy. Oh, you're racist. Like, what? There's certain things that make sense economically, and anytime you try to fix things, you get labeled, right? You get labeled as a fucking Nazi. You get labeled as a fascist Nazi dictator, racist. Like, these are pretty serious accusations, and people are just flying them out. Why? Because he doesn't support my party. That's all I'm saying, guys. Open up your eyes when it comes to voting tomorrow for America, and for Canada, I think it's next year, because we didn't call an election. Unfortunately, we should have. Technically, we did call an election, like it got voted for, but Justin Trudeau just chose not to have one because he's a fucking dictator and nobody wants to talk about that. But here we go. But what I'm saying, guys, look at the state of your country. All right? Again, I have no horse in the game. I can't vote. I mean, if I came there as an illegal alien, I could vote, which is kind of what they're doing. They're literally allowing illegals to vote because they're calling voter ID racist, which is just, oh God, that is that's you want to radicalize a guy faster? Just tell him that. That'll get his gears going. Like, yeah, I need ID to rent a car. I need ID at a fucking Airbnb to vote for who's in control of the most powerful fucking arsenal in the world. We'll get you on the way out. Don't worry. Don't need your ID. Buy a beer? Absolutely, you need your ID. Vote on who's going to control the real weapons of mass destruction. It's all right. Again, it sickens me. It just sickens me because, like I said at the beginning, what I've been suffering through, just being in survival mode this whole time. It's been hard. And I'm not alone. I talk to I'm just a guy with a podcast. I just happen to be talking about it and you're listening to it. So you're hearing me. One guy. But I'm not alone. There's lots of guys, lots of people I know. Married couples even. I know some married couples. They're fucked. Can't afford groceries. I was telling my coworker the other day, I used to, when I was like making $15 an hour probably, working at Walmart, probably less than that actually. No, Walmart would have been like $13.30, $13.60, like making fucking pennies.
Charge complete.
And I'd go home from work on a Friday or whatever. Well, I'd be at work because I have grocery shop after. But me and my brother, we lived together. We'd fill up 2 massive shopping carts. And this was in like 2013. Well, Walmart, I think, was 2010, actually. But whatever. It still happened all the way up to like 2014, 2015 even. We'd fill up these excessive shopping carts, bursting to the seams. Everything. Video games. Every new video game that came out, we purchased. Beer, alcohol. We went crazy. We were always partying on the weekends, doing something, going to Edmonton, like big cities around us, Calgary, all these big metropolises, going to comic conventions, stuff like that, going for trips, just going crazy, working at fucking Walmart and Best Buy. And now I have a far better job. And I can't afford to live. And talking about the groceries, 2 bursting. Again, video games, excessive shit. And that it'd be like $500 for our grocery bill. And that's 2 carts bursting at the seams. Now I go to local fucking Walmart. It's like I have 7 items in a cart and it's like $80. Make it make sense to me. And you wonder why people are having fucking mental breakdowns. You've made it. The fucking liberal government in Canada has made it shitty to live here. Now, if you're an immigrant and you come here, I'm sure you get benefits. I don't know. I've just heard things. And I know things are going crazy because the housing is skyrocketing because of immigration. Because you get these families that are used to living in groups because they're just happy. I think I talked about last week, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago. You know, people are just happy not to be bombed and destroyed in their own homes, which is a good thing. So they don't mind shoving people in the house, right? So, $1 million home, but you got 8 people paying for the mortgage, no problem. But guess what? That's not normal for Canadians. We live one family to a household, and that's how it's always been. And that's how it should be. Because, God damn it, I'm sorry, I gotta say it. This is Canada. This isn't fucking India. This isn't Pakistan. This isn't Japan. This isn't China, North Korea, Russia. Fill in the fucking blank with anything ever. This is Canada. And we're going to do it the fucking Canadian way. And that's the way it should be. And if you're coming here, you should be for the best interest of Canada. And that is not racist. That is not sexist, homophobic, Nazism, any of those blanket terms. All right, guys? No. That is just plain old valuing your country. And it goes both ways. Guess what? I don't go to China and tell them how to live. I wouldn't go to Japan and tell them how to live. South America, anywhere. Fill in the fucking blank. Okay? But Canada, and again, America's following suit too. It's the same fucking things. People go there and they're just, no, fuck this American dream. It's our dream now. We're going to take it over. It's like, didn't you come here for a better life? The fuck? Like, I'm sorry, but when I see things like people wanting to introduce like Sharia law and change laws in it, like that's scary. Why are you guys like, didn't you guys come here to get away from that bullshit? Why are you trying to do that here? And I think it's incredibly ignorant for people that are Canadian citizens to think that this shit is not possible. You know, like there's Canadian and American citizens that think, well, that's not possible. That would never happen. It is. And it is happening. And it's because our government, they're fucking pushovers. You know? Whereas I see stuff like Donald Trump when I heard him talking about he was on Joe Rogan and I listened to it and I'm like, this guy, you know, if you just look at what people say, Nazi, fucking racist, homophobe, you watch that podcast and yeah, he's a little self-absorbed for sure. But I mean, he's a celebrity, but ultimately he just wants shit in America, which is not a bad thing. You know, he's going to put big tariffs on other countries, which will suck for Canada. But again, Canada should back up their own industry too and then say, well, we'll tariff you. And that's how you make money. But no, we would rather sell our fucking shit to Saudi Arabia they buy it from us on pennies, I think, and then we use their fucking Saudi oil, which makes no sense because we have the biggest reserves of oil in the world, but I don't know, make it make sense. It's fucking stupid. But my point is, these people, just listen to them. Listen to these podcasts. They're not, like, Trump's not a retard. He's not a dumbass, okay? He's just a normal dude that, yes, he was a billionaire, and I'm sure he's got lots of corruption. I'm sure there's bad things, for sure. But when you hear him talk, he's not a racist. You know, he's not any of these things that they're saying about him. He's a billionaire, no different than fucking Bill Gates is a billionaire. All right? They're both billionaires, but everybody loves Bill Gates for some reason. Except for people that actually know how he is. Then they know that they don't like him. But you know what I mean? It's just like, it's just because he's not on their team. That's why they try to sabotage him. They want that control. But I don't see him as a bad guy. Wanting things American made, putting tariffs on other countries. That's good. Having no income tax would be amazing. It's an amazing idea because income tax is fucking theft. Just think about how it works. Like in here, up in Canada, I don't know how it works totally in America, but I'm sure it's very similar. But in Canada, you have your fucking you have your income, it gets taxed. So you get like half your income gone there. And then when you spend it, there's sales tax. And then in certain provinces like Saskatchewan, there's uh, provincial tax. So like you get fucked at every corner. But by the time your money's gone, it's been taxed 4 or 5 times by the time you're done using it. So you get like 20% of your income in the end. Like it's stupid. It's ridiculous. And again, I'm not stupid either. So I know that, like, yes, if you raise the income tax, there's probably or if you get rid of income tax, rather, companies are probably going to raise their prices because they know people have more money. Again, I'm not stupid. There's a correlation there. But that's, again, you you got to get that under control. If you get rid of the income tax, then you'd have to regulate companies' prices. You would have to say, no, you can't raise your prices like that. Don't be ridiculous. But again, I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm not totally invested in this stuff. I have a daughter to raise. I have hobbies that I like. This is not my favorite thing to talk about. My favorite thing to talk about is like movies and fun stuff and gaming. That's my favorite stuff. But it's gone to the point where like you can't avoid politics, guys. It's affecting my life. It's affecting my day-to-day activities. Cause like the last 5 years, where have they gone? I feel like I've gotten nowhere. I feel like I've just been fucked this whole time. Cause I work. I work and I work and I work and I never get ahead. And I don't think I'm alone. I think there's a lot of people that are in the same boat as me. They just don't have the platform that they're talking about it. So again, I'm just like, I sound kind of crazy because I'm yelling and screaming and raising my voice, but ultimately I'm just like, I've just had enough. I'm just, more than anything, I'm just sad. Like, just thinking about what's happened in the last 4 years and how I've just been spinning my tires. It got me depressed the other day. Like, I had to have like a vent session with my good buddy. I'm not going to name names on here because it's none of your business, son of a bitch. No. But I had to have like an hour-long vent session with him because I'm just like, I can't take this right now. I feel like I've been spinning my tires and just getting nowhere in life. And when I look at this political landscape, it's disheartening to see that nobody sees the corruption or they choose to see it but ignore it. I don't know which one of those is better, but it's just terrifying to me because there's real issues out here and people are getting screwed. I even see people like my father, who is always pretty well off. Not well off, like not millionaire rich, but like had a good job, worked his fucking ass off, had a good government job too. And he's struggling now. And it's like, what are we doing? This isn't the Canada that I grew up in. This isn't this isn't the dream. You know what I mean? This isn't what people were promised. I grew up and I was always like very hopeful about this country and very, maybe I was just ignorant. I don't know, but I just, I had high expectations for Canada and now it's just, it seems like it's all getting taken away. And it's just, it's sad. It's sad to see. And I'm scared because, you know, sorry. I'm just sorry, dead air there, but I'm just trying to collect myself here a little bit. It's just it's just hard to think about it because I just have a I have kids and I want to give them the world, and I feel like I'm not giving them anything right now. It's just, and it's not my fault. It's not my. I feel like I've just lost control. I'm not in control, and I want to give my kids the world. I want it. I want them to be successful. I want them to go on, have the next generation. If they want to have kids, if my kids want to have kids, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine too. But like, I want them to have a fucking shot, man. And I don't see that happening. Because I don't even have a shot. It's not fair. I got a decent paying job. And I don't overspend. I work a good job. I should be able to have fucking kids and a mortgage and a car. That shouldn't be out of the question. But I don't. I don't. I have a fucking used vehicle. I have a fucking used vehicle. I have a trailer, a shitty trailer that I've owned since 2012. I have that and a used vehicle. That's it. And I have one biological kid and a stepkid. That's all I have. All right? I don't have 7 side-by-sides. I don't have 4 skidoos. I have the bare fucking minimum. And I don't have anything. And I sound like a crazy person. But people don't get what it's like. And I don't think anybody's going to understand what it's like until they live this life. And nobody's ever going to live the same life. They aren't. But it's hard. All right? It's hard. Like I had like no money the other day. It was like a couple days till payday. And like, I'm sorry. I'm breaking up a little bit here. It's like it's hard because this is just real shit here. And I don't like doing this because it's just, obviously I'm a guy and it's a little embarrassing, but you guys have known me. It's not my first time crying on here. Probably won't be the last, but it's just like, you got to be real. But it's just, I had like no money pretty much. And I had to, rely on my, not ex-wife, but ex-girlfriend. I had to rely on her to get pull-ups for my daughter it was my weekend with her. And it's just, you know, when you can't get down the basics because the government and everything else is fucking you that hard, it just breaks you. It breaks you. It's getting worse and worse. And what really broke me was, it was just like, because my daughter's like, oh, why is mama coming to, why is she coming to bring stuff? And I just said, I'm like, baby, I don't have any money I don't have any money to, I said, I don't have any money to buy you your pull-ups. Sorry, guys. It's just hard. It's hard. It's hard to. It's hard to admit that. It is, and you know, and she's so cute too. And there was some change that I had on. I had some change on the the coffee table, and she just grabs it. It's like $1.50 or something, and she's like, you can buy me diapers with this, and I just like, I couldn't handle it. I literally fuck. I couldn't handle it because it's just like, they don't understand. My kids are so little and they don't understand the world yet, and they don't understand how insane it is. And I just, every day, that's what I'm thinking. I want to do better. I got to get better. I got to keep grinding and do better so they can have a chance, so they can have a real shot at a good life. But man, it feels like Canada, more and more, they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to have that. And I've been pretty transparent with you guys about my financial situation and how I am. Like, I don't spend a lot these days. Modest, used vehicle, a van of all vehicles, not an expensive one. I live in a shitty trailer, mobile fucking home, one kid, one biological kid. And I make upwards of $25 an hour, $50K a year is that. It's probably $25 an hour. It's $50,000 a year is approximately what I make. It's not enough. It's not enough. It could be enough normally, but when some expensive shit happens, insurance, you need new tires, anything like that, you can go real quick. All it takes is one emergency. One emergency, and you go from having, $1,000 in the bank to having nothing, and you can't afford to fucking have diapers for your kids. You gotta choose food or diapers. It's just like, that's not fair. It's not fair to anybody. And I think Canada can do better, and it has done better. And I know that because when we had that conservative government in, I was a dumb idiot kid who spent every nickel he earned. But I lived. Yes, I didn't have a kid, but I had a brand new fucking vehicle. I still had a shitty trailer, but I had a brand new vehicle. Brand fucking new vehicle back then. And I got liquored up on the weekends, did whatever I wanted. Partied, went to gaming conventions, gaming tournaments. Excessive. Everywhere. And it was like $14 an hour. Making almost double that. I don't do anything now. I'd love to go to a convention. I'd love to take my kids on trips. But I can't. Because the economy's fucked. We're sewered. And it brings me to another point that, like, for you dads out there, because this is a hard time for you guys too, being single fathers. If you're a single father and you think you're not doing right by your kids, or that you need to, I know, I suffer the same thing. You want to take them and do something exciting every weekend you have them. or during the week or whenever your agreement is. My agreement's weekends. So your agreement might be different. I don't know. But, you want to do stuff with them. Oh, kids are here. Let's go do whatever. Go swimming. Go on a road trip. You always want to do that. But you know what? With the economy being the way, you can't always do that. It's kind of fucked. But the honest truth is, and I just want to share this with you guys, you don't need to be that Disneyland dad. You really don't. Ultimately, your kids just want you. You know? It was the same weekend where I couldn't, I couldn't barely afford food and couldn't afford diapers to, you know, pull ups for my baby. And like, it's just like, I had plans. Some things came up, unfortunately. So I got in that position, but I had plans and I want to do them. And I told my daughter, I'm like, I'm sorry, honey, we can't do that because obviously I couldn't even afford this. So there's no chance we're going to be doing anything. And she just said, it's okay, Dad. We can just play toys. And there's lots of toys here. I'm just like, fuck. Like that's it, man. That's all they want. They just want your presence. So if you're a dad out there, just show up for your kids. Because there's some guys that don't even do that. They don't even show up. And if you think you're a bad dad because you don't get to go to Disneyland, Disneyland's just a code word for, fun shit. Because you don't get to do that every weekend. No, you're not a bad dad, all right? You're there. You're present. You're spending time with them. That's all they want. Just sit down and play with them. Play dollies or whatever. And that's ultimately what kids want. They don't give a fuck if they go to, Walmart and buy a bunch of shit, or if they go on a road trip down to, I don't know, where kids play mini golf. I don't know. There's a bunch of different things. My kids are little, so there's not really a lot you can do. But like, little playrooms and playgrounds and stuff like that. But just presence of mind is what I would say. Just be there for your kids. So either way, I'm sorry. I had some other stuff lined up here, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna save it because I just kind of went on a one-track mind here, and yeah. I'm sorry, guys, for breaking down, I guess, a little bit there, but it's just how I feel. It's how I feel, and I feel like if I'm not being my authentic self on here, then what am I even doing? There's no point. I have to be real with you guys and just tell you how I feel, and that's how I feel, and that's why I've been kind of polarizing with this election cycle, is because like we're feeling the squeeze. All right, we're feeling the squeeze all over Canada and the United States, and I think a lot of it has to do with these liberals, these these democratic people are just, I don't think they have your best interest in mind. I think a lot of them have a silver spoon and they just have forgotten what it's like to struggle. I think they would need to really learn that not everybody, not everybody's making $200,000 a year. You got to come down to earth. Just realize that a lot of people are just human and we don't all have the same opportunities. So, I don't know. It just sucks because they have this whole guise of being inclusive and being the nice guys, right? Republicans are always seen as like the bad guys, right? The guys that hate everybody and we're like just all about white people and good shit. It's like, no. It's like we're just about sensibility. That's all the Conservative Party ends up being. Common sense stuff. I won't hurt you if you don't hurt me. So, I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna let you guys go there. again, it's hard to it was hard to talk about some of that stuff there, but I think ultimately it's a good thing, you know. And I'm not gonna edit it out because that's not who I am. I want to be raw. I want people to know. And there's video now too, so it's even more embarrassing. Perfect. But no, I want people to know. People, it's affecting everybody. And people are losing their livelihoods. And I'd like you guys to know. And I want to know from you guys. I want to hear your stories. So if you listen, you hear and you have a similar story, or maybe you have something else that's changed in your life, just comment down below. Whether it's on YouTube or Spotify, just tell me your story. How has your life been in the last 4 years? Do you feel like it's been better or worse? So I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm just rambling on at this point, and I'm feel like I'm losing my voice already because I've been passionately yelling. So either way, thank you as always so much, guys, for listening. I appreciate the support on the channel. I appreciate the support on the podcast. I've been starting to do YouTube shorts as well and Instagram shorts. They're all the same shorts, but they're just uploaded different places. But from the gaming sessions, mostly on Twitch. So I appreciate the support on those. That's been pretty cool. They've gotten some traction and people have been sharing them around, which is neat. So that's awesome as always. So remember, links to all social media are in the description below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.